Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are looking at the steps that are required by the seeker, and towards those steps to purify and realize. Buddhya, 51st verse. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrutyatmanam niyamya cha शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लघ्वाशी यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः. In 53rd and 54th verse, he says, अहंकारं बलं दर्प कामं क्रोध परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तो ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. In the 54th verse, ब्रह्म भूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न कांक्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्. So these are the adjustments that we need to bring about in our physical, psychic, mental, intellectual dispositions or equipments, so that we are able to be who we are in essence. And without this adjustment, it's very difficult for anyone to realize their essential nature. And we saw in the 51st verse, he began endowed with pure intellect, controlling the self with steadiness, and having abandoned the sense objects such as sound, and casting away passion and hatred. So these are the adjustments, and we explained in detail. Gyaneshwari Maharaj also explained in detail. I think 2 classes were conducted over this verse, and now we are getting into that continues. It doesn't stop there. That having casting away passion and hatred. Then what? Then live and be happy. It doesn't work. After that, what? Dwelling in solitude. So first, let go of mental tribulations. That is what the passions and hatreds were. And then living in solitude, eating sparingly, subdued in speech, body and mind, ever intent on the practice of meditation and resorting to dispassion. So these were the Vivikta Sevi. These are the dwelling in solitude. And everyone wants. We also go on holidays to retreats. We want to go to Himalayas, we want to go pilgrimages, and traditionally the mountain caves, mountains, hills, top of the hills, under a tree, by the river, by the sea. You just went down by the sea or river, both. And these are naturally places where one comes to be, the mind becomes calm, and that is conducive for our preparation. And then okay, so we have done that. We can start again. गजबजा सांडिलिया वसवी वनस्थळिया अंगाचियाची मांदिया एकलेया शमदमादिकी खेळे न बोलणेची चावळे गुरुवाक्याचे निमेळे नेणे वेळू आणि अंगावळवायावे ना तरी क्षुधा जावे का जिभेची पुरवावे मनोरथ भोजन करितां विखी ययाति तेन लेखी आहारी मिति संतोषी मापनसूये. So here we were looking at these set of 5 verses, OVs. He dwells in solitude in a forest far from the maddening crowd, in company of his own body and organs. And I can't remember what I told last week, but once you do the verse number 51 and you become aware of those points, pure intellect, controlling the self with steadiness and having abandoned the sense objects, such all the 5 stimuli, and casting away passion and hatred, one must, because when we live in the society, when we live in the family, when we live with friends, continuously they are not seeing that they don't care whether you are spiritually evolving or not. You know you are evolving, but as much as you may try to be calm, but the triggers are there, out there somewhere. When you look at something triggers from inside. Sometimes people trigger you into certain responses, and all those things, it is natural part of our living. And therefore, such a seeker wishes to move away from the society, so that he has already, by the time we have come to the 52nd verse, he has worked out there are no answers in this world. Yama niyama. Yama. Don't disturb the world, don't get disturbed by the world. He has done that in the 51st verse. Now in the 52nd verse, niyama. Now he has to work on himself. And what is the first place that you work with on yourself? Body, breath, mind, intellect. This is who you consider yourself to be. So to work on that, you need some place where you are suddenly doing pranayam and you are deep into it, and suddenly the phone call comes. And you can't help but your eyes open and you say, "Arey baapre, someone from America after so many years he is calling," and you feel tempted to, you get distracted, and that rhythm with which whatever exercise you are doing, that gets disturbed, and it has its own consequences. And therefore, a restraint of the senses and self-control becomes his recreation, which is sometimes difficult initial stages only. We are saying when we are living within the society, it becomes difficult because so many things are attracting and distracting us. So when we go away, once we become inward, introverted, we start enjoying this introvertedness. And we don't worry about the We don't worry about the consequences, what the world, how the world assesses us, how the world judges us, what it says about us. We don't care. We are here, we know that we have to come to know ourselves. We are only looking for that window of opportunity. What is that window of opportunity? That window of opportunity is between the two thoughts. That window of opportunity is between the two breaths. That window of opportunities every day when you're going to sleep and every day when you wake up. You want to expand that, and that when you are with your nears and dears, it becomes an impossibility. Because looking at everyone, you feel like doing something, you feel committed, you feel duty bound, you feel prompted from inside that you have to do whatever you have to do. So we are not able to focus 100% on these things. So restraint of the senses and self-control becomes recreation. Every living moment. In fact, why living moment means every living moment 24 hours only, no? So 24 hours, his commitment is towards self-purification. His commitment is towards control of senses and control of mind. It's just like a person who is in love. He continuously, morning, afternoon, evening, night, early in the morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, there's no time. He's continuously thinking of the beloved. Continuously those thoughts. It's like an and he's enjoying it. It's not that it's an obsession. He can't stop it. It has caught him from inside. Same thing when it has caught us from inside. It's God's grace that we are enjoying this journey of self-perfection, of integrating our equipments, of purifying our equipments. He is not even conscious of how his time passes in meditating over the instructions of his Guru. So this, I talked about it. When we are in meditation, 1 minute, 1 hour becomes 1 minute because you have transcended time at that moment. When we are miserable, 1 minute becomes 1 hour, isn't it? And all this will be possible. These statements are true only if we have respect and reverence to the Guru Maharaj, Gyaneshwari Maharaj, whose words we are reading, towards Lord Sri Krishna, who has given this knowledge to Arjuna. So, and we must have respect, reverence, faith towards the Lord, of course, towards the Guru Maharaj, Gyaneshwari Maharaj, towards our ability that yes, one day we will come to realize what is being told here by the Lord, which has been realized by the Guru Gyaneshwari Maharaj. Not only Gyaneshwari, so many masters have realized what Krishna has said, isn't it? And they are the people who are saying that what Bhagavad Gita is saying is true, what Upanishads are saying is true, because it is our direct experience. And therefore, if this doesn't fire us up, that we also want to have that experience what these great masters have had of freedom, it's a direct experience, it's our natural state, then why am I bereft of it? Why am I feeling that I am away from that state of continuous freedom, continuous bliss? So it must catch us from inside. That is that faith has to be in our heart. It cannot come from outside. That will only come when we have done the first verse. When the world is no longer a problem, when we have become convinced that self-realization is the goal of life. And then he says, now he comes to the next thought, he never gives any thought at the time of taking his food as to how he should maintain his strength, satisfy his hunger, or cater to the peculiar taste of his palate. The contentment which he derives from a frugal meal is beyond measure. See, when we are so in tune and when we are so silent in our mind, when we are it's all connected. If you are agitated in the mind, your pranas, your breath will become agitated. It will go fast, in, out, because of the agitated mind. When breath goes in, out, faster, you will feel more hungry. So stressed people eat more food, isn't it? Calm people, where calm? Calm in mind. Mind is calm, mind is meditative, breath is slow and shallow. Where breath is slow and shallow, you will not even feel hungry, because it is the quality of the breath. It is not the body which wants food. It is the breath which invokes the hunger and thirst. If breath is calm, there is less hunger and there is less thirst. Body can survive. It has got enough for till death collected. So here, and this is our tongue. It is one of the last things, barriers for a spiritual seeker. Tongue is two in one. One is speech, we don't stop speaking, and the other is we are slave of our taste buds. We want different dishes every day. We want different, अरे यार समोसा बहुत दिनों से नहीं खाया. Oh, I have not eaten that pizza for such a long time. And if we are just passing by, we get a whiff of pizza flavor. Immediately it excites our palate, and it's like crazy. Your mind goes after that. Wants within few days you want to eat that pizza, and it goes on, and so we have to control our tongue, both for speech. How do you control for speech? Don't give opinions, don't get into arguments, don't speak more than required. Anandmayi Ma used to say, Dekho, suno, bolo mat, meaning, dekho means see, bolo, dekho, suno, listen, see, listen to everything that is going on, but don't utter a word. That is the sign of a wise person. And therefore, she used to practice it also. And she used to tell other masters who used to come, wherever he used to go, other masters used to come and meet her. So she will say, okay, very good, very good. I am an uneducated, uncouth person. I am mad. I don't, if I say something, you will not understand. This fellow, he has studied scriptures. He will speak, and she will sit down, and she will ask them to speak. And smart. So, where are we? He never gives any thought at the time of taking his food. So our attention is what? Hey, you have some chutney along with it. You have some pickle along with it. Oh, you got some salt and pepper with it. You got some. Did you put some lemon to get the flavor out of that thing? Is the chapati or the bread well cooked or undercooked, or rice is half cooked or al dente or fully cooked? I like only soft rice, I don't like hard rice. I like only wholemeal or multigrain, I don't like white bread. All these are, it's all because of taste. But a person who is focused on the higher, and because his breath has become slow and shallow as a result of the quiet mind, his eating habit is only for what? Only to maintain the energy, so that the mind doesn't die. That's all. Because you have to contemplate. If you don't eat food for some time, you can't think. And that is not helpful in contemplation. That is not helpful in meditation. Then it will be an inert. You will just go to sleep because you don't even have the energy to keep your body up. You don't even have the energy to focus on something and pursue it for a considerable period of time to reach the required conclusion. Instead, when we become focused on something, before we know, we are snoring away. So that should not happen. That is because of food. But here, so how much we should eat? Our Bhagavatam says, eat, divide your stomach into 4 parts, 2 parts you fill with food, 1 part you fill with water, and 1 part you keep it empty, meaning you get up from the table, from your food, from your plate, hungry, never fill up your stomach. But that is in general. Here, just 2-3 spoons. Another trick, I think I mentioned it last week. If you want to eat less and still be full, take 1 spoon of food, chew it 32 times. Chew it 32 times. Let it mix with your saliva and keep chewing like the cow does. I guarantee after 5 spoons you will not feel like eating anymore. Try. This is focusing, but this is focusing on food. This fellow, he is not focusing on food. He is just whatever comes. If it is from yesterday, it is from today, it is from whatever, it doesn't matter to him. Gajanan Maharaj, when you see him, nobody knows where he came from. But when he was discovered, he was outside someone's house, and in that house Satyanarayan Puja was going on, and the host, after eating food, they used to eat on the leaf plates, and outside the front entrance there was a big mound of where everyone was throwing it, and the gutter used to go outside the entrance. And he saw this young man or young boy in his late teens or early 20s, but eating from the heap of those plates which people have thrown. He's scraping away the leftover food and eating, and with the same hand he's feeding the dog also. And he's just watching that how low a person can fall in their life. Don't they have any dignity? That he is sitting in this mound of thrown away food plates, and from that he is collecting the scraps and he is eating, and no sense of hygiene. He take whatever little bit he's putting in his mouth, the same thing he's putting into the dog's mouth and again taking it. So no sense of etiquette or hygiene or anything, and he was disgusted. And to top it off, after feeding the dog and himself, this young man goes and from the gutter he takes the water like this and gives it to the dog to drink, and then again takes it and he drinks it himself. And this man who was giving the Bhagavad lecture or doing the puja, he could not stop himself. He says, "Thulu, it's disgusting what you are doing. First you eat from these dirty plates. Come, I'll give you food inside. And then on top of that you drink this dirty gutter water." This is gutter water? Gutter water? This is Gangaji. He says it is Gangaji. He lifts the water, that murky water he picks up in his palm, hollow of his palm, and he shows it to him. Look, it is Ganga. He looks, it is absolutely crystal pure. So in the end it does not matter. Shirdi Sai Baba, when he was hungry, he asked one lady who used to serve him. He said, "Hey, I am hungry, make something food." She quickly went, made puri, bhaji, rice, dal and brought it. And after bringing it, I think puri bhaji, and he looked at her and one dog came, and the dog without even tasting the food, that hot food, he fed it to the dog completely. This lady she lost her wits. She screamed at him, "You tell me you are hungry and then you make me work so hard. I spent 1 hour to cook everything and now without giving a second thought you feed to the dog." In one line he explains everything. He says, the hunger in this dog or hunger of anyone is my hunger, because I am connected to everything. We have to come to that point. For that, we have to let go, grow out of, give up our obsession with taste. Whatever comes, mouth shut, quietly eat it and get away, and always say it is fantastic before you eat. Not afterwards, before you eat. So there is no choice of saying that it is not good. See, not hog. So, and from 126th verse, so try. Those who are trying weight loss, 32 times you have to chew one spoon of food that you put into your mouth. 1026 अशनाचे निपावके हारपता प्राणुपोखे इतुकियाची भागु मोटके अशन करी आणि परपुरुषे कामिली कुळवधू आंगन घाली निद्रालस्या न मोकली हासन तैसे दंडवताचे निप्रसंगे भूयी महन अंग लागे वाचूनी येरने घे राभस्य तेथ देह निर्वाहा पुरते राहाटवी हाता पायांते किं बहुना आपैते सबाह्य केले आणि मनाचा उंबरा वृत्तीसी देखोने दिवीरा तेथके वाग्व्यापारा अवकाशु असे वाग्व्यापारा तेथके वाग्व्यापारा avakashu ase. He says, He is afraid that if he does not feed the abdominal fire, it will take away his life. So he eats in moderation to sustain life, only to sustain life, so that the body is functioning, the mind is functioning, the body continues. It has enough energy to do whatever exercises or physical, mental, whatever it is available to it, to do it. For that you need energy. Till you discover that you are connected to the infinite energy source. Till you are not discovered that, till then you need some energy from somewhere, isn't it? It will take away his life, and so he eats in moderation to sustain life. He does not disturb his posture in the same way as a chaste woman does not succumb to a person who is not her husband, who expresses a desire for her. So what is this posture? This posture, who is going to take away? The senses are going to take you away from yourself. The mind is going to run out of the senses towards the world and forget being introvert, being self-contemplative, being self-attentive. So this is what it is talked about. The mind is the female and the Purusha Prakriti, isn't it? Mind is the Prakriti, Purusha is the conscious principle. So it is this female is being told, she is married, she is eternally married to the Purusha. But when she runs out of the senses, which are her own products, and then goes and feels having a company of this or that object or person, which means Vabhicharini. She is not being integrated person. So here the opposite, that just like today, I don't know if people are following that, but in general it used to be like that a woman would not look, she looks good only with three people. When she is young, she looks good with father, or she should go out with father. When she grows up, she looks good with her husband, or she must go out with her husband. She should not be seen with any other person. And when husband is not there, father is not there, then she should go out with the son. These are the three people. Then she keeps herself in check, that she does not get distracted by anything, because it is her commitment to her husband, to her child, and so on. Same way, now if you make it subjective, that woman, that married woman is our mind, married to Prakriti, married to the Purusha. She should not go out with anyone other than the one. Who is that one? The self, the spirit. Remain ever contemplative of the spirit, or if not spirit, at least the God, whatever your whoever God you follow. So that example he is taking here, that he does not disturb his posture. This posture, it's not posture of you are sitting like this and you continuously sit like this and mind is going crazy inside. That is not a posture. That is a physical posture. Here we are talking about the posture of being in the poise, being in the poise of the self, in the self. And that does not mean you have to sit or stand or walk or play or be with people. You maintain that poise in and through all your interactions. It's not that you are sourcing out interactions. Life is continuously coming to you. You maintain that poise. You don't get disturbed. You don't fall down from that focus, that abidance, that equanimity. So he does not disturb his posture. And that example of the woman was taken. His body touches the floor only when he prostrates prostrates it before God. Otherwise, he does not commit the wanton act of rolling on the floor. He only lies down when he is in front of the divine. Otherwise, for us, what is our lot? In the afternoon, after food, lie down in the bed, have a rest. Sit somewhere, put the legs up on the table and relax. Watch TV, put the legs up, relax. And when TV is going on, when you have gone to sleep, you also don't know. Then suddenly you have, I think that was a good power nap. And now what? Now I have to collect all the leaves from the garden. Or I have to cook lunch or dinner or whatever. So we have to give up these three: alasya, nidra, pramad. Alasya, nidra, pramad. Alasya, laziness, procrastination. Nidra, sleep. Pramad, inadvertence or repeating the mistake of procrastination and sleep again and again and again. So how does this happen? This happens because of overfilling your stomach. Second, it happens because of, tell someone, it happens because of eating old food. Old food means FFF, fresh from fridge. So what is the, as long as you are not, if you are not in the poise, you are in the world and you are looking at purification, you want good thoughts, food makes the thought. So what type of food you should eat? You should eat food which is prepared 1 or 2 hours before you eat. That is sattvic food. And only make so much that you can finish it. Don't keep it for the evening. Make something else in the evening. Make simple recipes. But for us, we make 3-4 days of food fresh in the fridge. Every day take it out, heat it up again. Where? Not on the gas. This takes too long. Microwave. Microwave, another pindadan. It's pindadan. Pindadan means in our Hindu culture, when someone has passed away, they must be remembered every year. They must be offered food. And there is a small 10-15 minute ceremony, and in that hot black sesame with rice balls are made and they are offered to the ancestors, those who have passed away. And after the ceremony is over, if by mistake you eat it, it is bland. There is no taste to it. So that food is usually given to animals or cows, or not cows, to crows and fishes and etc. But by mistake if you eat it, it has got no taste. Why? All the nutritive power through the steam has gone to the ancestors. Same is the taste of the food that comes out of microwave. The status of the food is same when it comes out of microwave, where it has been bombarded with the microwave waves. So they say. So eat fresh food. Try it for 1 month. See the difference in your difference in the quality of thoughts in your mind. See the difference when the thought quality is different in the mind, then your feeling about yourself is positive. Then all these inflammations and etc. what are there in the body, they will reduce automatically. So he does not disturb his posture, so we may remain in poise in the self, in and through everything, and we don't react if things don't go our way. His body touches the floor only when he prostrates it before God. Otherwise, he does not commit the wanton act of rolling on the floor. He makes the movements of his hand and feet to the extent necessary to maintain himself. In short, he keeps his mind and senses under his control. That is the main goal. So all these exercises that we have been doing, casting away passion and hatred, steadiness, and having abandoned the sense objects, all that is to keep the mind under control. What is the difference between the individual and God, which are the two spectrums of the Prakriti? Individual is who is the slave of nature. And who is God? Who is the master of nature, master of potentiality. Individual is a slave of his own potentiality. Our potentiality is our mind. We are enslaved by the mind. And God is master of his mind, meaning Prakriti. So this is the growth, this is the final culmination, at least at the relative level, that we can grow, expand our consciousness from individual consciousness to God consciousness. Yes, there is one step after that, which is self-consciousness, but at least you can work towards growing, expanding your consciousness. And all this. So don't get, when things go your way, don't get excited too much. When things don't go your way, don't get depressed too much. You will feel sad when some nears and dears die. You will feel happy when some young kid is born. But don't go over the moon and that, and suddenly you get a lottery and people have died because of winning a lottery because they couldn't handle the excitement of it. And so that is not. We want to maintain a balanced poise. Let world come and go, bring and take away whatever it wants to. We maintain our balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So here he says, where are we? He makes the movements of his hands and feet to the extent necessary to maintain himself. Over exercise, over walking, over cycling, overdoing anything too much is not healthy. Do enough so that the limbs are healthy, the flexibility is there. Now you eat only this much and you go for 10-kilometer walk every day, how will you survive? Eventually you are going to feel completely exhausted, and then you are not good at doing anything then after that. It should not be like that. He does not allow his inclinations even to reach the threshold of the mind, that is, rise to consciousness. Inclinations, these are the hidden vasanas, the hidden desires, which we all have. We all have secrets. We may have controlled ourselves over the years, but some things, some negativity, some positivity, some too much kindness, sometimes too much, we can never say no to anyone, or some hidden desires, they are lurking within our bosom, they are called vasanas. So when vasanas from the depths of the subconscious, when they arise up, they bubble up into our mind, they are called desires. Those desires take the form of a thought, but before they take the form of a thought, before you recognize, there is this inclination that something is uneasy, something is going to happen, some feeling is coming. So before it takes root in the mind, they cut it away. Don't allow. How do you not allow it to express? By shifting the attention of the mind from that desire, going to appear desire, to the conscious principle. That is the way. And this is, many times you will fall, many times, and slowly you become you adapt to it, and you learn how to circumvent it, how to negotiate through it, and you find your own ways of how to catch it and keep it under the lid and not allow it to express. But modern psychiatry says differently. It says express everything that is there. Every time you express, you are reinforcing it. It is not release, it is reinforcing. This modern psychiatry doesn't understand. They will say, oh, you are suppressing it. No, we are not suppressing it. We are accepting it, we are not rejecting it, but we don't want to give heed to it. We choose our attention to be on something more complete, more auspicious, more grand, which is the self, rather than that desire, and desire is always only for the world. Desire could be for food, desire could be for travel, desire could be for property, desire could be for a man or a woman, whatever. But we don't want to. We have already worked our way, done the hard yaka and come to control our mind. Now why we want to consciously again allow the mind to leak into those avenues? We don't want to do that. So for that, each one has to, this is the principle. You have to find, each one has to find their own knack. Each one has to find their own knack. Initially, in our cases, what happens? It is wisdom after the situation has taken place. Event has taken place after. Nahi yaar, wo nahi. We should not have done that. This is, at least you came to realize. Next stage is that while it is happening, you stop yourself in the middle of it. Right? I'm eating food and from there, oh, have one more chapati. No, enough. Have one more gulab jamun. No, enough. While in the middle of it, you can stop yourself. Other days, eat. I overate today. Yesterday also I overate. So, delayed wisdom. Now this is, you come into the, while the event is taking place, you're eating, you decide, no, enough. I'm not going to eat more. Go one further back, the desire for food is coming and you say, yeah, only 2 hours ago I ate, again hunger is coming. What is this hunger for? I just ate food. Oh, the hunger is for samosa, snack. This is snack time, tea time. Not for food. It is for tongue. It is for desire. Cut. Engage the mind into something else. Go smell a flower. Or go and smell the grass. You will start sneezing. You will forget food. You have to find something. So, go further back. You nip it in its bud. Before it arises into the mind as desire, you nip it there. You shift. Don't allow it to even take the form of a thought. So these are different. But you have to find your own, as I said, your own knack of how to control it. But one must work towards it. And it's not one day we will work. We must be aware of it all the time throughout the day. Not just about food, about anything else. He does not allow his inclinations even to reach the threshold of the mind, that is, rise to consciousness. So from subconscious, they are coming to working consciousness, which is the mind. Then what scope is there for giving expressions to them in words? We can't. So when they have not taken the form of a thought, only thought appears as words, isn't it? So if they have not taken the form of a thought, then words also will not come out. Then you will not, the words are gross and action is gross. So when the thoughts are formed, the desire comes by way of thoughts, and then it prompts the body to move towards that which the desire is. Continuing, 131st. ऐसेनी देहवाचा मानस हे जिणवनी ब्रह्म प्रदेश आकळिले आकाश ध्यानाचे तेणे गुरुवाक्ये उठविला बोधी निश्चयो आपुला न्याहाळी हाती घेतला आरिसा जैसा पैध्याता आपणची परी ध्यान रूप वृत्ती माझारी ध्येयत्वे घेहे अवधारी ध्यान रूढी गा तेत ध्येय ध्यान ध्याता ययाति हि एकरूपता होय तव पंडुसुता कीजे ते गा म्हणावनी तो मुमुक्षु आत्मज्ञानी झाला दक्षु परिपुढासूनी पक्षु योगाभ्यासाचा. He says, after conquering body, speech and mind, so the way to conquer body, speech and mind, make them calm. It is the mind. In the end, it is the mind which is prompting the speech as well as making the body active. Control the mind. How do you control the mind? Control the senses. People want to control the mind through yoga, meaning physical yoga. And they spend years and years. Still, it is not happened. So after conquering body, speech and mind, he turns to the sky of concentrated meditation, meaning sky of concentrated meditation, Chidakasha, the conscious space. Remember, gross space, the space in which this whole world is, that is Bhutakash, Chittakash, the mental space, and the source of the mental space is conscious space. In that conscious space, all the mental spaces of past, present, future are present. That is our nature. Chidabhasa. See? So come to that. So once you have kept the world at bay, the world is not disturbing you, the senses are not disturbing you, the seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting is not disturbing, the activity at the body level is not disturbing because body is quietened, because little food you are taking. Then breath is slow and shallow. When breath is slow and shallow, mind is also erupting less thoughts. When mind is erupting less thoughts, you are able to work with the mind. You are able to focus the mind. You are able to concentrate the mind. You are able to turn the attention of the mind. And where do you turn the attention of the mind? Only a quiet mind's attention can be turned. A busy mind, you cannot shift its attention on something worthy. So this quiet mind, you consciously take the attention of the mind and shift the attention of the I to the conscious space. What is that? Because of whom this I and aham and idam is taking place. What is that because of which this mind is functioning? What is that base on which everything is coming and going, which is unchanging? It is me only, I only know. Why am I looking outside somewhere? So who is this true I? Not the I which I am thinking I, but the I who is supporting all the thinking. Who is that? What is its nature? There is no answer because it is me only. But shift your attention towards that and don't expect a result. If you expect, something will come. But don't expect. So this is the paddhati. These are the steps by way of which one becomes self-oriented, and after conquering body, speech and mind, he turns to the sky of concentrated meditation. Just as one sees one's face clearly in the mirror, he then scrutinizes the nature of his self as instructed by his guru. See, at this stage, this is very it's not technical, but unless and until our mind is calm and quiet, this particular verse which I am talking, verse means these words which I am saying, just as one sees one's face clearly in the mirror, he then scrutinizes the nature of his own self as instructed by his guru. This will not become clear to you. If mind is agitated, if mind is attached to the world, to the family, to the possessions, to the body, to the breath, to the mind, to the emotions, to the past, to the future, to the waker, to the dreamer, to the sleeper, to the God, then this step we will not be able to pursue. It requires a special condition, and that condition is a quiet mind. Just as a moon is able to reflect itself in a waveless ocean, exactly the same way, the self is able to reflect itself completely in a waveless mind. Wave in the mind is thought, in a waveless mind. Now, all this exercise is to create that condition of waveless mind. We are not creating self. Self is self-existing, that we are. That we are already. So when hundreds of waves are there, you miss the moon. It breaks up into many. When only 4 or 5 waves are there on the ocean, on the pond, or when 4 or 5 thoughts are there in the mind, then between the two waves, you can see clearly the reflection. Then the question is, the moment you see clearly, immediately again you think that wave is coming, and it tries to verbalize what it has just now experienced, and again the point is missed. You are trying to work out the subject which cannot be thought about, and this assessment has to be conducted. Conducted means you have to, while this assessment is going on in the mind by way of thoughts, you watch, you be the witness, you be the sakshi, you be the overlord of the mind, and you are watching. Acha, this is how he's thinking. I'm making this statement. He won't say anything. So one keeps fine-tuning and fine-tuning. He then scrutinizes the nature of his self. Am I the self who is saying I am the self? Or I am the self who knows that the statement I am the self came and went? Which one am I? How do I catch the one who is witnessing, who is ever present in spite of this statement in the mind? I am the self. I am thinking of the self. Who is that one who knows that this came and went? Now, there is no process for it. You have to work it out. You have to quieten down. You have to remove all the doubts from your mind. You have to be convinced that and it is your experience that there is someone, and which is not other than you, who knows that these thoughts are coming and going. You have to find a way to be that one, even while the mind is thinking. That will bring about complete cessation of thoughts. Just like you are thinking, I am sleeping, I am sleepy, and suddenly all the thoughts of the waking world, even the thought that I am sleepy, also drops away and you glide into sleep. Actually, you have glided back into self. You don't know it. You have glided back into self. Because there is no thought there, but you don't know it. Same condition you have to create here consciously. For that, all these steps, these 4 verses, the complete scheme of preparation. This is the complete scheme. Meditation, Gyaneshwari Maharaj says, meditation ordinarily consists of the meditator, the state of meditation, and the object of meditation. So here when we are talking of ourselves as a seeker, when we say, I am going to meditate, means what? I am the meditator. What are you meditating upon? What will be a teacher meditating upon? Teacher will meditate upon students, disciples. Here, meditation depends on these 3, Triputi. What is that? Meditator, the state of meditation, and the object of meditation. What is the object of meditation? Is it the student? Depends what position you are taking. If you, like one person is there, they are every day, every second day they call, Swamiji, please bless, please bless. What? My daughter should get married, my daughter should get married. What? So there, even if, and she says, I meditate every day. Now with that type of obsession, what must she be meditating upon? They went to India, they went to meet Shankaracharya of Kamakoti. There she met him. She said, I was thinking I'm not going to ask anything, but when I saw him, immediately he said, what do you want? My children should be happy, they should be happily married. Because the mind is continuously in that loop. So if that is the case, what meditation you are doing? You are continuously thinking Ram, 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 and the other mind is saying, when is she going to get married? When is she going to get married? When is she going to get married? This is not meditation. So there, mother has gone to sit in meditation. Mother cannot meditate. Mother will meditate only on daughter. A seeker is sitting in meditation. The seeker will meditate on Guru Maharaj, or a devotee is meditating, he will meditate on the God. A child is meditating, a young child is always dotting on the mother. That is his God. Matru Devo Bhava. See? So what are you, when we talk about meditation, who is the meditator? What is his frame of mind? If his frame of mind is as we have narrated just now. Now the principle is given, meditator meditated upon the object of meditation and the state of meditation. So, and the object, O son of Pandu, one has to meditate until the object of meditation, the act of meditation and the meditator all become one. So, I came before the class, 6 o'clock, I have to eat my food. I meditated upon the food. I must finish it before 7 o'clock. So, I went, made chapati, vegetable, dal, rice. I was thinking, nice fragrance coming. I said, okay, I will eat 2 chapati, and every day I eat 1 chapati. Why should I eat 2 chapati? So I cut down 1 chapati. So I had 1 chapati. But till the chapati was not inside me, included in the definition of I was contemplating on the food, that I must finish it in time. But once I have eaten the food, now what is happening? The eater, the eaten, and the eating experience all have become one when the food went into me and became one with me. See? Then what happens? The desire for meditation also goes away. Correct? There is no desire. If there is a desire to meditate, then you will meditate, no? This desire that I want to know the self itself is a false desire. It is necessary in initial stages, but when we come to this climax, this desire also needs to be given up. Until you do not give up the desire to sleep, you will not sleep. Until you do not give up the desire to realize the self, or realize God for that matter, till then you will not be one in union with the desired object. But here, the self you are is the subject, and self that you are meditating upon is also the object. How can one thing become the subject as well as the object? But the exercise has to be done in that way. Exercise has to be done that way. And eventually, as long as you are not looking at a conclusion in that sense, objective conclusion, then it clicks. And that is what is being said here by Gyaneshwari Maharaj, that the one has to meditate. How long we have to meditate? Until the the object of meditation, the act of meditation, and the meditator all become one. All become one. So in that process of meditation, and what was the meditation upon? You remember? What was the meditation upon? Conscious space. Chidakash. Remember? Your meditation was not on the world. Your meditation was not on the body, breath, mind, intellect. Your meditation was on the conscious space. Space meaning mind, empty mind, and the consciousness which is reflecting in that mind which is free of all other objectivity. Come to that. And you will try to catch, you are trying to objectify it, yeah, I am there. Because we are so used to thinking, there also inside your body is still, but inside you are all, something, your process is going on. Until you slowly, even that nodding, that breath, that thought eruption, everything very gently, silently, elegantly comes to a knot. It will come to a knot only when we expose the I, the meditator, to the conscious space. So where we are not allowing the desires, we are not allowing any thoughts, we are not interested in anything. When mind is empty, you are there. Because of your habit of objectification, you are seeking yourself. You have listened to this lecture, you have listened to Upanishads, you know self is already you are. So you have to remember it that time. You have to remember, it must come as a click at that time. And for that sometimes Guru Maharaj is required. When he says, suddenly you come to the right track and drop everything, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa. See? Therefore, the seeker who is intent upon attaining the knowledge of self takes recourse to the yoga of meditation. So one must meditate. One must not once in a week meditate. Daily. How many times? 3 to 4 times a day. Early morning, afternoon, evening time, and before going to sleep. Do this 15-20 minutes, half an hour, 5 minutes also, doesn't matter. Start getting into that practice, into that regularity. Slowly that 5 will become 6, 6 will become 10, 10 will become 15. You won't know. Automatically your duration of abidance of experiencing this joy initially, it will keep extending itself. And as it extends, it doesn't have to extend to 24 hours. It reaches a critical point and boom, it takes over everything. And that's what they are talking about. It's a spontaneous combustion. Everything becomes divinized. Meaning you fall back into yourself. Now don't imagine that you fall back into yourself means you are separate to yourself. No, you are not. It's just a way of expression. Continuing in the 136th verse. 36th hai na? अपानरन्ध्रद्वया माझारी धनंजया पाष्णीं पिंडुनिया कावरूमूळ हाकुंचूनी अध देऊनी तिन्ही बंध करूनी एकवद वायुभेदी कुंडलिनी जागवूनी मध्यमा विकाशूनी आधारादि भेदूनी आज्ञावरी सहस्रदळाचा मेघू पीयूषे वर्षोनी चांगू तो मूळवरी बोधू आणूनिया नाचतया पुण्यगिरी चिद्भैरवाच्या खापरी मनपवनाची खीचपुरी वाढूनिया. Now this is the unique approach of Gyaneshwar Maharaj. He propagates the Kundalini marg. Some marg you have to take. See, realization, everyone is already self-realized. What we want to come to? We want to come to the quiet mind. So how to bring that quiet mind? How to bring about that? See here, what he is doing here is, he has brought you up till meditation, and now in a meditative poise, he is going to, I think it is that way. What does he say here? Where are we? Then pressing the heel. So after sitting in meditation, where all your agitations, the restlessness in the mind has become quietened, then he is saying you pursue the Kundalini Abhyas. Otherwise, what will happen if you do pursue from the beginning? If your attachment to the world has not gone, your attachment to the body has not gone, your breath is not slow and shallow, and then you put your heel at the Mooladhara and you push the Kundalini up, then what will happen? You will have unwanted experiences on the journey. When the whole channel is clean, channel meaning the whole body, the whole world, the whole body, the whole breath, the mind is nothing but a projection of the mind. So all the obstacles are only imaginations or projections of the mind, but you have purified the mind itself. So in that purified mind, when you practice the Kundalini, it's like a spark to a dry wood, to the kindling wood. Immediately it will catch fire, because there is no moisture of attachment there. Understand? Our Swamiji says, Gila kachra, sukha kachra. Sukha kachra is possessions, Gila kachra is attachments to the relations. So those things are not there. Attachment not only to the people, but to the body, to the breath, to the mind. You have sorted all that out till now by exposing yourself to conscious space, Chidakash. Now there you start. What does he see? You put your left heel into the Mooladhara. Mooladhara is the coccyx. Mooladhara is the diaphragm between the anus and the genital organ. So there is a cup there. So there are 3, 4. There is one there. There is one just below your navel. There is one below your below your diaphragm. One is below here and one is below here. See, these are the different cups. So the first one, some people say that the coccyx is on the spine, the Mooladhara is on the spine, on that hanging bone. No, it is between the hanging, between the anus and the genital organ. So there is the place, it's a soft tissue there. There is a muscle there. So that needs to be pressed by the left heel. So here he says, then pressing the heel of, he's saying right, not even left. Maybe in other teachers have said left. Then pressing the heel of his right foot against the perineum between the genital organ and the rectum and contracting the lower region, he practices the 3 bandhas, psycho-psychic, physico-psychic postures, and he unites the life breaths. These are the Moola Bandh, Udyan Bandh and Jalandhar Bandh. These 3 bandhas are to be done. So just like if you are all sitting right now, bring your attention to your anus and contract it. You can feel the pressure there. Now bring your attention to your genitals and contract it. You can feel the pressure there. Now bring the attention between the anus and the genitals, and there you, between those 2 points, just where you are sitting between the 2 bones, it's straight. Now bring your attention there. You can feel the muscle getting contracted there also. So these three, there are different names to it. One is called Moola Bandh, one is called Ashwini Bandh, Ashwini Mudra, and another is called some Ling Mudra something. I can't remember the name. But in Kundalini, this is the point. So you put your attention there, you tick, why you're putting the right knee? So that when your heel, not knee, knee kaise pahunchega wahan pe? Heel. That will be a funny position if the knee goes there. When you put the heel there, the skin of the heel is touching the lower diaphragm of the Mooladhara. So you feel that it is there, and then you can contract it. So how do you do it? With every outgoing breath, you keep contracting it, keep contracting it, keep contracting it. And then after a few weeks of practice, when you have learned to control that muscle, then keep it contracted. Then Udyan Bandh, then the Pranapan here, the breath has to be thrown out and you have to hold the navel back, and the Udyan Bandh, and then after the breath has been taken out, some people say you take it in, some people say you take it out. Whichever way you do, you lock this part so that the air is not able to come out of the mouth or the nostrils. So you lock that up. So you are contracting the base, the Mooladhara, the Moolabandh, and everything is feeding that to rise up. All the pressure, all the blood is going in there. Because of the locking system, the air is pushing. Where the air will go, the blood will go. Where the blood will go, the pressure will build up and it will push it up. And as it pushes up, because you are already purified, you are not having any desires, only you are doing this. So very quickly, without any interference by any thoughts of the world or other worlds, the energy is able to traverse its journey to its source. This is the technique. But this technique is a technique only if practiced under a teacher, not by yourself. Hit and trial and you can get into very big trouble. So the three bandhas, with the control of breath and serpent power, wakes up, and when the passage of Sushumna opens up, she ascends by piercing the 6 centers from the Mooladhara to the Ajna. Mooladhara is the bottom one, then at the genitals is the Swadhisthana, at the navel is the Manipur, at the heart or solar plexus is the Anahata, then Vishuddhi Chakra, and then comes the Ajna Chakra, and the last one is the Sahasrara. So that is the all-consuming. So here it is the Purusha Prakriti. Here is the I without having anything to associate with. Vishuddhi. Vishuddhi means Visheshana, specifically, very, very pure. Shuddhi is purity. Vishuddhi means very pure. So what is this pure? I has got nothing to identify with. It's the space. This is the Chidakash. See? So in this manner, you until it reaches the where is that? Where are we? The serpent power, the Kundalini power wakes up, and when the passage of Sushumna opens up, this Sushumna also, some people say when you do this initial stages, when you put your thing, before you keep pulling your Mooladhara up in with every breath, you should practice in that quietened state. You do what you call Lom Anulom, to balance the right and the left breath. That can be done, but then it's again you're coming back to the breath, but it's okay as long as you maintain the poise. Then he says, 6 centers from the Mooladhara to the Ajna. Then the cloud in the form of 1,000-petal lotus in the Brahmarandra sends showers of nectar which flows through the Sushumna passages until it reaches the Mooladhara center. So it is like a shower of ecstasy. It's which starts from the top of your head. As the energy goes up, it blasts forth, it unites with the beloved, with the total, and once it goes there, all your desires are fulfilled. Imagine if one desire fulfilled, you feel so happy. If all your desires are fulfilled, you don't even know which desires, but the feeling of ecstasy is there. That ecstasy then expresses itself as tingling, and all the different experiences are there. But here it is, what he is specifically talking is that ecstasy, that energy, that thrill comes down. It pervades every chakra as it comes down. Pervades means what? It is divinizing every chakra till it comes down to the source. Even Mooladhara is divinized. And then what happens? Flows, where are we? Then reaches the Mooladhara center. Then the Kundalini places in a broken piece of a pitcher a hodgepodge of cooked rice and pulses in the form of the mind and the breaths before the terrible deity Bhairava dancing on the mountain of Brahmarandra. All that is, these must be still whatever is left in the subconscious still to be purified. All that is where it is. Mooladhara is issues regarding to security. Swadhisthana is your unfulfilled desires about opposite sex or siddhis or powers or control or survival. All those things are there. Then Manipur is your greed. That something you want to possess in life. You want to be in charge. All those things. So all these shortcomings of individuality which were lurking within the subconscious, you don't know which ones they are, but they are at these different chakras, and all of them are presented to the whatever you knew, you purified it, and you did the exercise of meditation as well as invoking the Kundalini. But still, if something is left in the deep subconscious, it brings it out and presents it to the infinite Lord to be destroyed or to be divinized. In this way, then the Kundalini places in a broken piece of a pitcher a hodgepodge of cooked rice and pulses in the form of the mind and the breaths before the terrible deity Bhairava dancing on the mountain of Brahmarandra. Continuing, what's the time? Kya time hai? Still 10 minutes. झालिया योगाचा गाढा मेळावा सुनी हा पुढा ध्यान मागिली कडा स्वयंभ केले आणि ध्यान योग दोन्ही इये आत्मतत्वज्ञानी पैठा हुआवया निर्विघ्नी अधिची तेणे वीतरागते सारिखा जोडूनी ठेविला सखा तो अघवयाची भूमिका सवे चाले पहावे दिसे तव वरी दिठिते न संडी दीप जरी तरीके आहे अवसरी देखावया तैसे मोक्षी प्रवर्तलया वृत्ती ब्रह्मी जायलया तव वैराग्य आधीतया भंगू कैचा. He says, in this way, he practices the yogic discipline steadily for the attainment of self-knowledge, and in order to ward off obstacles in the way, he makes friends with non-attachments, that is vairagya. This non-attachment keeps him company in all the yogic states. Vairagya is very important. Vairagya is only possible when we start discriminating. That's why qualifications don't begin with Vairagya. They begin with Viveka. Vivek Chudamani says, Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshatvam. Vivek, discrimination between real and unreal. Vairagya is dispassion towards everything. Then Shatka Sampatti is preparation of your inner strength. And what is your inner strength? Contentment. Then the Vairagya will become steady. Dispassion will become steady. And what is the driving force for all these three? Intense desire to liberate or intense desire to be the original one as you are, and to be in the natural state. So here when he says that in this way he practices the yogic discipline steadily for the attainment of self-knowledge. Now don't understand attainment of self-knowledge. What am I giving you? Am I giving you self-knowledge? Is Bhagavad Gita giving you self-knowledge? Is the teacher giving you self-knowledge? Is the Upanishad giving you self-knowledge? Then what is it giving you? If it is, you are saying no, if it is not giving you self-knowledge, then what is it giving you?
It is giving you a guide to go towards it.
So what is self-knowledge?
Self-knowledge is you are.
Self-knowledge is the conscious principle itself, which you already are. So all thought knowledge is not equal to self-knowledge. All thought knowledge is not equal to self-knowledge. Be very clear of this. But we have no other way but to go through this process of communication so that we understand that we are the source. The words, the scriptures are not the source. They are only guides. They are only pointers to the consciousness. We are the conscious person. We are the essence of everything. Now don't imagine there is one essence there, one essence there, one. No. You have to take the position. I am this consciousness that I am is the source of everything. Just like in the dream, the conscious mind, the mind in dream is the source of all the minds. Now you keep bringing that analogy again and again and try to, automatically you will become dysfunctional in this world. You will become so poised. But it must not lead to depression though. So, where are we? Yogic discipline steadily for the attainment of self-knowledge, and in order to ward off obstacles, in a way he makes friends with non-attachment. So how do you remain undisturbed by what the world is throwing at you? Have you any choice? So how do you remain undisturbed? By dispassion. What is dispassion? Giving zero value to the world. So what is the world throwing at you? Heat and cold. What is the world throwing at you at a very personal level? Heat and cold at the body level. Comfort, discomfort at the body level. Remain undisturbed. Food, hunger and thirst at the pranic level. Remain undisturbed. Likes and dislikes, joys and sorrows at the mental level. Remain undisturbed. People ridicule you or praise you. Remain undisturbed at the intellectual level. This is the strength that will come out of this. So here when he says that Vairagya helps. So why are you practicing Vairagya? Is it to ward off these obstacles, or you are cultivating dispassion so that your viveka, your discrimination become more refined? The discrimination between self and not self, real and unreal, it becomes more focused, it becomes more concentrated, it becomes more effective for It will become effective only when there is nothing disturbing the mind. For that you are practicing Vairagya. But it's offside, passively. The benefit is it keeps all the obstacles at bay, because even though they come, you are not available because your attention is on something higher. And this Vairagya helps in that. In initial stages, it helps in that. And when in Upanishads, in Maharanarayana Upanishad also we have studied, Tyage naike amritattva manashuhu, isn't it? Tyage naike, renunciation. Vairagya is renunciation, giving up, meaning not giving attention. That alone, giving up of everything, leads to immortality. One attachment also that I want to realize. Realization will not happen. Even that desire also has to be given up. So here we are not talking about that one. We are talking about a person who is seeking, who is on his path, and there are certain challenges from if he is at home, from family, from food, from hunger, from body aches, this, that. But as we have seen in the last two verses, he has sorted all those out. He has invoked the Kundalini, and in that, as a result of that, he is coming to abide in his Sahasrar. From the Sahasrar, what is the disposition from the Sahasrar? I alone am. There is nothing else apart from me. Everyone is pervaded by me alone. I am the source of the entire creation. And how do you come to know that? Without a thought. Without a thought. Otherwise you will be saying, oh, Stanton also I am pervading. Oh, him also I am pervading. You will go crazy. It's a spontaneous realization of the entire relative being only a projection, and you pervading that projection. That projection is pervaded by the material called I, and the whole projection is created by has come out from the I. This becomes an unremovable, undilutable experience once you come to the Sahasrar. And it is a fantastic goal. Come to that. It is not equal to realization. It is not equal to self-realization. But it is a fantastic goal. Then there will be no war like it has started today. See, this part, in Satyuga, everyone used to meditate like this. Nowadays, nobody is meditating. Everyone wants to touch and they want to realize. Outsource it to Mahatmas, outsource it to remasters, outsource it to ashrams, outsource it to YouTube channels. That was fantastic. I will follow that one. Oh, he's chanting like that Om on the YouTube, I will also chant. As if anything is going to happen. It doesn't happen. You need a live teacher. Till you are self-sufficient. Till you come to this realization that you are the source of all questions and you are the source of all answers. The consciousness, the consciousness. Then there is no need to go out. Raman Maharshi did not go out, Shirdi Sai Baba did not go to any teacher, Ammachi did not go to any teacher, Satya Sai Baba did not go to any teacher, Ramakrishna Paramahansa did not go, but some teacher came, but he did not go to anyone. And there are many like that, because they have come to this point. This is the total mind. This is the total mind. What is total mind and individual mind? I explained to you before. Individual mind is a slave of all projections. Total mind is master of all projections. And what is the way to master all projections? To see that they are the self alone, the I alone is the material of all the projections. And I is the source of all the projections. in that sense. In that person, he is not identified with this body, because this body is just another aspect of the total projection. So whether that dog eats or Shirdi Sai Baba eats, it's one and the same thing. He's coming from that point. He's coming from that point where he feels unity in diversity. Quickly we'll read and we'll explain next week. This non-attachment keeps him company in all the yogic states. If one has a lamp in hand, why should there be any delay in seeing the desired thing? So long as the seeker has the company of non-attachment, how can he meet with obstacles in his yogic practice? Therefore, that fortunate person who practices yoga combined with non-attachment becomes qualified for the attainment of Brahman. This next topic, this next point we will explain in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.